It's not as obtrusive as the old ladybug thingy was. So I move that out of the way. And then I can put up the chat box. Ah, okay, yeah. Trevor, I will go ahead and video this and put this up where the review is.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then bring up the poll and put that there so we can do that too. Okay. So anyway, I sent you this. We'll go over this first because one of the biggest problems you're going to have to run into is, how do I know what kind of problem I have if basically all I have is the problem itself? For those of you going to be taking 213 or 218, that's going to be an issue going forward. Then I sent you as well this integration sheet. This is everything involving integration, just like we had something that involved differentiation. And yes, you can use this on your test. This gives me, now this is going to be 6.1. So we'll be doing that on Wednesday of next, start that on Wednesday of next week. So for this test, it's going to be these three things. Integration by parts will be on the final exam. That dinging, all of a sudden, all of my friends are now texting. I've got my iPad in here with me, are texting Happy Thanksgiving. So that's what you're hearing. Okay, so then all of your basics, these are your basic rules. These are your anti-chain rule. This is U substitution rule. This is the rule for the definite integral. And then, of course, this is 6.1. I've labeled it. That's integration by parts. So that will be, that's there. So that I sent you, I think. Yes? Crystal, yes, I did. So
I got it, yeah.
Alrighty, so we'll kind of start out with that and then move to the review. I don't think that's me. I've got some feedback. It won't let me do that. Okay. So if I take a look at what type do I have, and I may need to do an adjustment here because I had to make some changes this morning because we were dealing with the calculator in 150. So if I take a look at this particular problem, mentally this is what I go through. And by the way, because I took the STEM calculus, I had many more than this list. So I had integration by parts, which we're going to be doing. I have integration by partial fraction expansion, integration by trigonometric substitution, miscellaneous substitution. So I had to go down through this entire huge list and say, what is it? Now, where do I always start? I always say to myself, is it a basic? Well, I look at this guy and I say to myself, well, no, he's not a basic, because if I look at the list of basics, they are basic. It's a constant, it's x to the n, and it's an e by himself to the kx, and it's a 1 over x, or you could even say a constant over x. And it's like, well, no, it's not a basic. So I rule out basic. My next one on my list is a u sub. Well, u sub means at which point I look at this and I say, all right, where'd that 2x come from then? Well, it's a derivative of x squared. So the type is a u sub. Well, what do I know? Well, I know that u is x squared, so that du is 2x dx, so that I don't need my calculator, so I move that out of the way because it's in the way of all my pens. So that 2x dx, I need this whole thing, 2x dx, that's just du. X squared is u. So this is the integral of e to the u du. Now I look at that and I say to myself, well, what is it? I made my substitution. Well, it's a basic. This is the furthest I'm going to take it, but this is a basic. That means I can integrate it. It's e to the kx. It's 1 over k e to the kx. So yeah, so now I'm down to a basic. Everything we do reduces down to a basic, which you should be able to do. I look at this. What's its type? Is it a basic? Well, if it's a basic, it's going to be one of these three, right? It's a basic, it's going to be one of these guys. Well, this is just anti-power rule. So this guy is just a basic. And what is he? He is anti-power. So we can just do him directly. Well, then what is he? Is he a basic? Well, I don't have anything that looks like 9x plus 7x squared minus 2x cubed divided by x. No, he's not a basic. Well, what's the next thing? Is he a u sub? Well, no, because I means I'd have to get the numerator from the denominator or the denominator from the numerator. Can't do that. So as a result, then my next choice is, by the way, it's always my last choice, is algebra. Well, yeah, it's algebra. And what do I have to do? I have to divide. So this becomes the integral of 9x divided by x plus 7x squared divided by x minus 2x cubed divided by x dx, or 9 plus 7x minus 2x squared dx. And now I performed the algebra, and then I asked myself the question, what is it? And if I take a look at it, it's just anti-power rule. This is now a basic, and it's anti-power rule. And I just perform that particular integral. I look at this and what's its type? Is it a basic? Well, no, it's not a basic. Is it a u sub? Well, if I differentiate the denominator, I get the numerator, because the derivative of 2x squared, or x squared plus x, is 2x plus 1. And that's this guy right here. So what is he? He's a u sub. And where u is x squared plus x minus 5, so that du is 2x, 2x, close but no cigar, (2x plus 1 dx). And so this guy right here, that's just du. And this here is u. So this is the integral of 1 over u du. Now I ask myself the question, what is it? Well, if I look at it, it's anti-ln rule, right? Because it's 1 over u. So this is now a basic. So it's anti-ln, natural log. So we try to reduce everything down to basic. Now, what about this guy? Well, I don't have any way of handling a product other than U sub. Well, then where'd this x squared come from? And you got all this crap that's in the bottom. And it's not a U sub. It's not a basic. But that means that I'm dealing with algebra. And what am I going to have to do? Multiply the distributive property. So this becomes the integral of x squared times 3 over x. That's just 3x minus x squared times 8 over x squared. Well, that's just 8. Plus x squared times 2 over x cubed. That's just 2 over x dx. Well, now what is it? This is anti-power rule. This is anti-log, or anti-natural log. So we've got a basic. And that's literally what you get used to as you add more methods of integration.
Can you go back to number 1, please? I think I missed something. Oh, okay. Never mind. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, so that's what I go through. Good news for you guys, we add one more, and that's integration by parts. We add one more, and that's integration by parts. If you're going to be a finance or an economics major, you might have a few more. You might have to take more math, but for the most part. Any questions on identifying the type? Everything reduces down to a basic. Okay. We'll let that be the end of... Move this over.